What's up, my brothers? Final score, 49-29. Soon as I went to praise them motherfuckers, soon as I went to praise them and Dak Prescott, that's when the Bears scored 16 unanswered points. I'm like, man, these niggas making me look bad. But, yeah, after Dak Prescott threw that pick, you know, the Bears, they clawed their way back in the game. But it wasn't enough for them. Michael Parsons had a touchdown today. Tony Pollard had himself a day. 3 total touchdowns, 150 yards total. Man, Tony Pollard. Today, even though we let the Bears kind of claw their way back into the game, it was complimentary football today. The offense, for the most part, looked really good. Dak Prescott, for the most part, looked pretty good. The run game was outstanding. The offensive line looked good. The offense, the play calling looked good. Everything looked fucking good on the offensive side of the ball. It looked really good. I know we went against the Bears, but the Bears destroyed the Patriots last Monday night. The Bears, they are still competitive. I like what we did on offense today. It was stellar for the most part. It was great. The defense did its thing, causing turnovers. The defense, though, you know, teams with mobile quarterbacks, like today in case of Justin Fields, the Eagles, you know, of course, the Eagles earlier, they are monitoring Micah Parsons. They're watching him. Teams with athletic quarterbacks are making him choose. They're trying to use his decision making against him. He did a little bit better today because the Eagles, oh man, they picked him apart. He did a little bit better today, but you can still see that teams with athletic quarterbacks, they're going to try to take advantage of him. They're going to leave him unblocked. They're going to leave him unchecked. They're going to run right at him at times. They just want to see what he's going to do, and they will use his decision-making against him. Not all teams, obviously, have that type of personnel where they can do that, but teams who do have that personnel, we may come across certain teams like that in the playoffs. That could give us problems. That could give Micah Parsons problems. Hopefully, Dan Quinn, they can scheme around that. They can circumvent that in some way. Hopefully they can. The defense, we're still weak against the run. A Cowboy fan pointed this out last week when we went against the Detroit Lions. I didn't point this out. They did, and I'm glad they did, because I looked at the film much more closely. We still have problems against the run. It's going to be a huge issue going into December and the playoffs. Teams like to run in December and in the playoffs. We have to figure out something. We can't allow 200 yards on the ground. We can't. We're getting destroyed out there when they are built to run, when they're dedicated to run. That's when we have problems on the defensive side of the ball. We have to figure out a way to address that. We have to. If this goes on, we will die in the playoffs by the run. If this problem persists, we will die. So, brothers, I'm just pointing this out. I know we having back-to-back dominant wins, but we have to point out the flaws with this team so we can, hopefully, the coaching staff, hopefully, we can address this. This is a problem, brothers. Don't be blinded. Listen, I'm excited about the win. I'm excited about the complementary football that I've seen today. One of the few times you see it, where the offense and the defense are firing. But when we have problems, we have to talk about it so we can focus on and address it. This is why we got knocked out of the playoffs in the first round last season. This is why we haven't won a Super Bowl in 20-something odd years. Is because we take the wins, we pick it up and run with it, and we're Super Bowl bound. When we have flaws that we have to address. I hope this coaching staff, Mike McCarthy, Dan Quinn, Kellen Moore, I hope they hyper focus on the flaws that we have, because they're glaring. They're glaring. Our run defense, the inconsistencies on the offensive side of the ball, these are problems. Now, there are certain weeks where we look dominant, like today. But there are times, even in a dominant win, if one thing didn't go our way, the game could have went the opposite way. I'm just saying. But brothers, 2-game win streak. We're going into the bye week, 6-2. Quite a few players got hurt. Jaron Kearse, Donovan Wilson, they got hurt today. Hopefully they'll be ready to go against the Packers. Hopefully Zeke will be ready to go against the Packers. I'm not sure. I'm not really privy to what's going on with him with his injury. I'm not privy to what's going on. I need to check that. Hopefully he'll be ready too. The first half of the season, we did what we needed to do. Cooper Rush got us through. He was 4-1. He got us to 4-1. Thank God. This season could have been derailed from the start with Dak Prescott going out. Cooper Rush came in, saved the day. Defense is looking good. We had a favorable schedule. The first half of the season is a success. Let's just hope we can carry this momentum after the bye week. After the bye week, we have the Packers. They're struggling. They have a tough game tonight. They're going against the Bills in Buffalo. Let's see how they respond. Let's see how they look. You can never really count the Packers out. When you have one of the best quarterbacks in the league, you cannot count them out. He said it before, and I could see him doing it again. Relax. That motherfucker won the Super Bowl here. His team went 10-6, and he won the Super Bowl that year. Do not count Aaron Rodgers out. We need to be prepared for him after the bye week. The Eagles are still doing their thing. They completely dismantled the Steelers today. They came off their bye week hitting. We got to keep up with them. This division, I think this entire division is, my math is going to be wrong here. I believe we're like 21, 22, and 7 right now. Like the entire division, the NFC East. We have 2 losses. The Giants have 1. And the Redskins have 4. Okay, yeah. So we're 21-7. This division is stellar. Even the lowly Redskins, the basement-dwelling Redskins, they're still fighting. So we cannot let our foot off the gas. It's a constant battle. It's a constant struggle. We got to constantly keep going. Don't be lackadaisical because we got 2 wins in a row. Don't be lackadaisical because we're 6-2. We have to keep going. And hopefully we can address some of these glaring flaws, because if we don't, an opportunistic team in the playoffs will. They will take advantage. That's all I'm trying to say here. People like to call me out saying I'm bitching and shit like that. Brothers, if you want constant praise, go elsewhere. I'm not going to do that. I'm trying to give you the real deal. I'm trying to be as real as possible with you. I'm going to tell you things that you don't want to hear. That's my job. That's my place, is to tell you how I see it, giving you the God's honest truth. I cannot constantly praise this team. We don't need to be celebrating. We have nothing. We shouldn't be celebrating anything right now, brothers. This doesn't stop at 6-2 in the regular season. This keeps going until we get to a championship game and a Super Bowl. We have to keep going, and we have to address the flaws that we have. We're not a flawless team. That's why we have 2 losses already. All right, brothers. I'll catch you maybe in 2 weeks. You may see me here and there, during the bye week. Maybe. I'm just letting you know. If you don't see me in 2 weeks, I'm chilling. All right, brothers. Take heed. Peace.